And now you get to talk with That Nerd Show.
Are you That Nerd Show?
Yeah, we used to be The, but we wanted to be more important, so now we're That Nerd Show. So, actually, this is a little bit of a pleasure for me because I was born in Chicago, so the Blues Brothers is, obviously a very big cult hit. And my first question, how did that actually come about for you? I know the kind of the history of John and Dan doing blues together and starting the band, but...
Well, the band didn't happen until, it's a long story, but very quickly, Danny Aykroyd was passionate about rhythm and blues music. John was really into heavy metal and headbanging music. John Belushi and Michael Jackson are two people who listen to music so loud it hurt your teeth. I mean, I've never, the volume. But Danny really got John interested in Toronto when they were in Second City together in the blues. And then on Animal House, believe it or not, when we were shooting in Eugene, Oregon, there was a local blues band, a guy named Curtis Salgado, who John, really got interested in, and they created these characters of Jake and Elwood. It's a long story, but basically, they used to perform as Jake and Elwood with Willie Nelson's band and with Delbert McClinton around New York. But Lorne would never put them on the show. They did an opening, they would do like the warm-up. Lorne wouldn't put them on the show, and finally, Danny was dating Carrie Fisher. When she hosted the show, she said, "You have to put them on." So he did. And then Steve Martin, who saw them that night, said, I'm opening at the Universal Amphitheater, which is no longer there, in Los Angeles this summer. Will you be my opening act? So that's when we said, great, because we always wanted to make a movie, so we put that band together then. Paul Schaefer and Danny and John.
Okay.
I mean, that band,
I don't think I've actually heard that particular story.
Well, you never hear the truth. and what's incredible, you're familiar with the movie?
Oh yeah.
You know that big guy in the wings who signs them to a contract, gives them cash? His name's Michael Kleffner. I think he's passed away, but Michael Kleffner was an A&R guy. He's the real guy. Who was an A&R guy for Atlantic Records. And he said to them, if you're going to perform, let me record it live album. We already had a development deal at Universal, just sitting there for the Blues Brothers. The album, to everyone's amazement, went triple platinum. So what happened was you had John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, stars of the biggest TV show in the United States, Saturday Night Live. John was the star of the biggest movie in the world, Animal House at that moment. And John and Danny had the biggest album in the world. And Universal went, hey, wait a minute. Can you have this movie in theaters by August? That was like 8 months. There was no script. And I went, of course.
Because you're John Landis.
No, because I knew that we weren't be fighting about the budget. We were in production. I mean, you don't say to them, I'd like to drive 40 cars 110 miles an hour in Chicago. But that's how, that's what happened.
Now, I mean, what is it like, what was it like trying to direct John Belushi? I mean, you just tell him, go and...
No. John was, you know what? That's funny because John was a disciplined and classically trained actor. He was so explosive. He was such a great talent. He was great. On Animal House, it was just a pleasure. On Blues Brothers, unfortunately, he became, by the middle of shooting, he was heavily addicted to cocaine, and, that's a spiral of drinking, and that was difficult. That was difficult and heartbreaking, and that made it very hard. But in terms of directing John, he was fab. John and I got on great.
Now, I got to ask because I don't think most people realize that Steven Spielberg is the tax assessor at the end of the movie. It's always a great trivia question.
Really?
Yeah.
He gets a close-up and everything.
Well,
he's
good.
Amazed. It's actually good, too.
So how did that come about, and then how did you end up in 1941?
Well, 1941 was made before the Blues Brothers, and my wife, Deborah's standing over there somewhere, she designed 1941. And Raiders of the Lost Ark and all my movies. And so Steve was enamored of Animal House, and he just one night at dinner said, you want to be in 1941? And I said, well, how long? I was supposed to work 2 nights. I was trapped on the back lot for like 3. I made a fortune, like 3 weeks. But I had to shave my beard, and if you remember, they kept throwing dirt on me. It was covered. So when I made the Blues, I said, all right, you got to be in the Blues Brothers. And then I remember when he came to the set, and he shaved his beard at the end. Deborah dressed him. I said, he looks good. And she went, yeah, but he gives me jobs. I said, he threw shit on me. Wait a minute.
Now,
You know?
although we don't really cover sports, this one's mostly for me because being from Chicago and being a diehard Cubs fan, how did you get that iconic scene with Wrigley Field?
We went in front of Wrigley Field and shot it.
Really?
Yeah.
That was it?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like you could actually get away with doing that now.
Well, it's actually now geographically it's different. You know, I mean, one of the things the Blues Brothers is a document of old Chicago.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Maxwell Street's gone, and so much of it, you know, none of those steel mills are left, and all those old bridges, Chicago's really been cleaned up.
Yeah, very different. Are you surprised that the Blues Brothers has stood the test of time like it has?
Yeah, I'm surprised by everything, though. I mean, you know, again, I've been lucky. I've made a lot of movies that still play, and it depends where I am or who I'm talking to, whether it's Three Amigos or Trading Places or Animal House, the Blues Brothers, or Coming to America. You know, or there's actually a thriller. It's always different, so it's interesting. In terms of the Blues Brothers, the movie's pretty wacky, but what I know for sure is the music is wonderful.
Oh yeah, still.
So that's.
So this is a recurring question on our show, and since you're John Landis, everybody seems to be doing superhero stuff nowadays. Would you ever get in the game and do a movie about superheroes or a villain?
If it was good, yeah. But I truthfully, they're making these tentpole. It's branding, and no, that's not my interest. But my son wrote a wonderful superhero movie called Chronicle. Did you see Chronicle?
Yeah.
Max wrote that, and that was a really original.
That actually was a really great movie.
And interesting take on superheroes. And I'm actually working with Stan Lee right now, but that's a secret. But it's not really about superheroes. So.
I like how you're enticing our audience. It's a secret. You'll have to find out.
Yeah, because it's not really it's not what you think it is.
Yeah, now I have the tagline for the end of this interview. It's a secret. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, and congratulations on the honor.
Thank you very much.